presentation. It seems to be that non-woven is a whole different level of fabric. It's not fabric like what I'm wearing today or what our representatives are wearing today. So tell us for each of you, what are non-wovens and what are the possibilities of non-wovens in your field of work? Maybe we can kick off with Engineer Pimentel. What industrial applications for non-wovens in your field?
So, for Baseline Foundation, we are a non-profit organization that focuses on regenerative and low-carbon building technologies. While our collaboration with PTRI is still on the early stages, we are looking at the application of non-woven textiles in the applied as insulation for our different houses, for different projects for socialized housing here in the Philippines.
Insulation against heat or sound or both?
For now, we're looking into sound because this past summer we've had the El Nino phenomenon in which the temperature is significantly high. So our beneficiaries have been telling us that the houses are more, the thermal comfort isn't that great this summer. So we're also looking for research areas that we can improve our social houses through insulation.
All right, so thank you so much, Engineer. Of course, he is from Base Bahay, so we do build bamboo houses, right? Okay, next maybe we can ask Architect Sarao. Architect Sarao, you're from Sarao Motors Inc. So give us a little background first, just one sentence or two about the background of your business as well as of your advocacy.
We've been making jeepneys since 1950s, and thankfully with the DOST-PTR Act, we're trying to innovate the way that we build our jeepneys. So we're trying to implement these non-woven fabrics, one for the interior, for insulation, for the roofing, for the heat, and also for the sound insulation to give the right quiet inside.
Alright, that sounds good. And what about, let's ask another architect. We have Architect Jed Yabut. Hi, Architect.
Hi, Jed lang.
Jed lang.
So we do furniture. We do home pieces, home decors. And yung application namin of these non-woven products naman, we've been using kasi mga foam from other brands, and then we're using also fabrics, but this time around we use the fabric na non-woven and this is banana fiber, right? And then, so ginawa namin siyang strips, and from those strips, either ginawa namin siyang strips or ginawa namin siyang twine. So lahat ng strips, binraid namin siya or nag-twine kami. So we made it into ropes or we made it into strips na pwede namin siyang i-weave. So all our pieces there have elements na naka-weave siya. Again, this is homage to the Filipino craftsmanship of weaving. So that's how we applied the products that were given to us by DOST. And I think we also wanted to use more of the locally produced raw materials because I think that's what's lacking sa industry now.
Alright, and do you agree with that, Architect Zion, our other architect?
Yes. For our sake with Architect Jed, our direction was to use internally all the fabric that was given to us as a purpose na para maging somehow water resistant yung mismong product because we do furniture, so may wear and tear, so hindi may iwasan na matatabunan ng mga bagay, ng water and liquid. And according to Sir Julius nga po, one of their innovations in the future is magiging waterproof or water resistant din siya. So it's a good direction for Filipino fabrics na meron din po tayong ganitong kind of technology.
Okay, so punta muna tayo sa mga ating other designers, no? Sa more mainstream textile applications na sanay na natin. Pag nakikita natin yung mga natural fibers na local, accessories, clothes, apparel, no? Miss Gina, kayo po, you go out of the country, you promote Philippine-made products, you participate in trade exhibitions. Fill us in on the current trends and where does non-woven fit into this?
It's interesting because it's only now, very recent, that we were made aware that non-woven can actually be made use of either by apparels or fashion accessories, because we're always used to utilizing woven fabrics, whether it be bamboo, whether it be pinya, whether it be very recent na yung banana. So I think the trend right now globally, definitely it's still very sustainable, and definitely the market, whether it be locally, domestically, or internationally, there's so much reception, a very good reception on usage of natural fiber, especially on nanowoven, especially for banana fiber.
Banana.
Yes.
Sir Mike, kayo po.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm here basically to be proud to say that we're actually one of the first adopters of the non-woven fabric derived from pineapple fibers. So if you look at the sneakers I'm wearing right now, the application here right now is that we're using it for the insoles, where you step on them. And the beauty of that is that it's not only comfortable and very breathable, it has also antibacterial properties. We're still doing some more tests on how to put that on the biological sense, but trust me, if you wear it, your feet won't smell that much. So maganda yung reaction. Now, another application we're studying with PTRI right now is to develop the uppers, the fabric on top of the sneakers. Yeah, so we're developing an alternate leather version of that, using also pineapple and hopefully in the future also banana bark fibers. So we're very happy with our collaboration with PTRI. They're very helpful, and it's nice to deal with scientists once in a while.
Are you confident, Mike, that this will capture the global audience?
Definitely. But what is important is that we have to establish a robust supply chain. We have all the pineapple leaves available here. It's a matter of just how to set up the production capacity. And I think it's doable if we put our minds together with the different agencies, not only for PRI, but also for the FIDA and others. So yeah, we have big potential because that's one of the strengths of the Philippines, our fibers. So I'm not looking not only pineapple fibers and banana bark, but other fibers that can be converted into nanowoven.
All right, and Renz, from the label Renz Reyes, what would you have to add to that? Renz isn't. Okay, Renz isn't here. So we'll move on to, I think, Willie of Chucknut. Earlier, Architect Jen mentioned mining, and I know that's kind of what you do, but you didn't used to use natural fibers. So how do you make that switch, and what are you working on right now?
So basically, agri-waste naman po, diba? So, basura pa rin. Ang galing nga na may ganito alternative aside from polyester, kasi all the seats you're sitting now, it's made of polyester foam, diba, and fiber film. So this time, I use the nanowoven to the upholstery itself, the inner, the feeler, lahat, and the textile.
Pati yung loob,
Pati
it's
yung
non-woven. Okay, and
Pati yung fiber feel.
fiber fill na natural,
Na natural.
hindi na plastic.
Hindi na plastic. So, pwedeng biodegradable siya when you dispose it. Pag nagpapalit ka ng upholstery.
Okay, so to lessen our waste. Diba? Yun naman, sustainability is really one of your advocacy. So, okay. Doon naman tayo sa kay Engineer Xia Hendiong. You are already, I think, dabbling in non-wovens, Engineer. Can you tell us po how you use these non-wovens in your industry?
Actually, the manufacturing movement way back maybe around 20 years. But nobody gave attention to what we are doing today. Now, what's being mentioned with all my colleagues here now, we have a very technical application for all. Like, for example, for insulation, for sound acoustic on the floor, on the ceiling. I suppose most of us would have a meeting place in Starbucks, a big coffee shop. Hindi mo napapansin pagpasok mo sa loob. It's a very, very noisy place. Because with all the noise, bouncing, reflecting, deflecting, but that's our meeting place for everybody. So that's one application one of the application for acoustic application. Now, if you live inside a home, what is a quality house? You need a well-ventilated, insulated house. You need a quiet place with all the noise pollution. Now, with all these features, we as a manufacturer can produce all these technical fabric that can fit into our requirements. Now, going to geotextile, for example, in our road construction, if you go around Manila, our pavement is just only a few layers of compacted soil, gravel, subsoil, and on top these are the concrete pavement made from cement and also the asphalt. Over time, just within 6 months' time, with the heavy rain coming down, our road will be destroyed by heavy truck loads. And with our non-woven product, we can make a lot of improvement on our roads so that we can save a lot of cost, especially for the TPAs. For example, what does this geotextile do? If we lay down underneath the subsoil, it will retard the soil erosion. It will save a lot of moisture, water, or cement pouring on the floor. So it can stand there for at least 20 years without any damages. But today, none of us are doing that. It's a pity.
Okay. So, what do you think? No? How can the Philippines position itself in this? You're mentioning very technical engineering functions here. How can we position ourselves?
Because in the general layman's word, nobody understands the meaning of non-movement. I suppose I can challenge everybody here. After what our Julius told our presentation of non-movement, none of us do not really know what's the meaning of it. Non-movement is a technical textile manufacturing process. It can cater to garments, can cater to health, can cater to hygienic. It's a various application. So it can cater to general upholstery. So it's a very complicated meaning. It's a very simple word, but very complicated meaning with the various corresponding applications. So with this we as a common denominator of all the applications, we can produce and tailor accordingly to all the desired application needed for hospital, for road construction, for building construction, for safety, for sound, noise pollution, etc. And also for air pollution.
All right.